Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you a video regarding the history of animation. Aren't you just pumped and stoked? Good. Okay, but before I start, I just wanted to let you guys know, I am kind of copying Year-Raptor style of videos. You can deal with it because I'm lazy and I have 6 weeks to do this stupid project. And I don't have time to really think up original ideas. But I assure you, videos that are to come in the future, you don't gotta worry. I'm gonna do my own thing. But as for right now, I just really need to get this done. I'm super lazy. Okay, so here we go. Basic overview of animation. Keep in mind, I'm going to talk about them in trends, like when they got big and stuff. A lot of these styles of animation, mainly the older ones, can actually be traced back before the time they got big. But I'm not gonna go back to the roots of all the different animation components because that would take a billion years and a lot of video. Also, there is so much to cover that there is no way I'm going to cover it all, all styles of animation. It's impossible. So if there's something I'm missing and you're just like, Healy, you forgot to talk about flip books and stuff like that, well, too bad, because I don't care. I just really don't care. You can trace the roots of animation all the way back to our caveman counterparts. They'd always draw animals and things like that on their walls in various positions as if they were running. And cavemen would look at these things and all their drawings and stuff, and they'd be like, dang, wish I could make these pictures look like they were moving. But back then, our brains were much more smaller and more monkey-like. Cavemen were way too dumb! So anyways, the idea wouldn't come about for several years. Evolution needed its time to expand on our brains, and we eventually built up the knowledge we needed to really start animating. But hey, this is for animation, so let's just skip our anatomy portion of this video. It wouldn't be until the early 1800s, actually, that animation would really start booming. And in 1826, the first thaumatrope was born. Basically, all it was 2 pictures, one on each side, a little circular card, and you'd spin it really fast, and oh my god, it's 2 pictures, but it looks like 1 picture. It's so awesome. Next was the Alright! Kindergarten style right here, spin out the word 1 sound at a time. Finakitsoscope? Who named it that? All it was a series of pictures on a spinning disc. Why couldn't they just call it something simple, like spinning disc? Rolls off the tongue much better, that's what I'm going to call it. So the first spinning disc was developed just 5 years after the thaumatrope, quickly becoming the new big thing and showing people what you could do with just a series of moving pictures. Pretty cool. But moving on! Next, the praxinoscope. Who the hell is coming up with the names for this shit? Basically, the praxinoscope was a spiral with pictures inside of it. You turn it, look inside, and see a series of pictures moving really fast, giving the illusion of animation. Wait a second, the spinning disc. It had the same concept of fast-moving pictures. Could that be the cornerstone of 2D animation? Duh, retard! Next up on our list, get excited. Movies started being made. Movies like Gertie, the Trained Dinosaur, and Little Nemo. Not to be confused with Finding Nemo. Little Nemo. But it wasn't until 1928 that a certain mouse made his way into the big screen, the world's very first cartoon to feature synchronized sound! This is what really propelled Disney to becoming the awesome, famous behemoth we know today. Of course, since Disney Channel, it's kind of taken a step back, but, give them props. Fast forward! To 1937, to Disney's first ever major motion picture, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This movie's a freaking legend. It's pretty awesome. Became an instant classic, and it far succeeded one's expectations. Nobody's ever seen anything like this back in the day. And it raised the bar and people's expectations, and it made people only want more. Mainly of the earliest cartoon TV shows were actually about superheroes, like Batman and Superman and Astro Boy. Yes, TV shows actually expanded beyond our borders, and in Japan, and there was the birth of anime. And whether you like it or not, anime has had one of the biggest cultural impacts on the world. It completely changed animation and world culture forever. It was a way for movie makers to make huge, awesome movies without millions and millions of dollars to spend on things like actors or special effects and explosions and stuff like that. Anime really started becoming what we know of it today by like the late 80s with such shows as Dragon Ball and legendary movies like Nausicaa Valley of the Wind by Hayao Miyazaki. And its fame would continue in the 90s with various anime shows and movies like Cowboy Bebop and Naruto. I hate Naruto. No, guys, I hate Naruto. friggin' Next up on our list, computer animation. With the approach of the computer golden age, naturally, everything changed. Not just with the way animation was done, but also the distribution and sharing of content over the interwebs. Computer animation really got its first time in the spotlight in 1995 with a little company called Pixar. Pixar had done many small projects before, but in 1995 they released their very first ever full-length film known as Toy Story. You remember seeing this as a kid? Like, didn't this crap just blow your mind? Like, I didn't even, when I first saw it, I didn't know if it was clay or if it was real toys or what. Computer animation also came into the spotlight in video games with the very first ever 3D graphic cutscenes to ever be seen in a game. Because gaming went to CDs around this time period, with the launch of Sony's PlayStation, games were able to store a lot more content than traditional cartridges like the NES, SNES, and Sega Genesis. And because of that, video game developers made games that were actually able to play 3D cutscenes. Games like Tomb Raider, and even more notably, Final Fantasy VII, widely known as one of the greatest games of all time. But speaking of 3D graphics and speaking of video games, there's also another style of 3D graphics that saw the spotlight mainly in the early and late 2000s, and we actually see it growing in popularity even today. Best way I could describe it is, imagine if 3D computer graphics got it on with traditional hand-drawn animation. No, guys, that's really the best way I can describe it. And the morbid bastard child, as a result, is what we know as cel-shaded animation. Now, this got its earliest debut on the Dreamcast with games like Jet Grind Radio and Sonic Shuffle. Everybody took after Sega's example, and you actually started seeing the same kind of style on Microsoft's Xbox, Sony's PS2, and the Nintendo GameCube. One of the most notable titles to feature cel-shading was Nintendo's Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Pretty neato. So today, what is this all leading to? Well, who knows? Nobody. But, I mean, we'll see. I mean, for example, on the PS3, there's a game that I'm sure some of you have heard of called Valkyria Chronicles. It uses what's called a canvas graphics engine, and what that is, it's basically like, okay, you ready for this? Just watch. Okay, see, it's like a drawing. See, it's drawing, sketching stuff. It's painting now. Look, it's a painting. It's turning into a painting. It's a game! Check it out, guys! It's a video game! But no, I'm really excited to see what's to come, because there's always something changing in the world of animation, you know? There's always something new being created with the clever minds of today. Alright, guys, that's my very first video. I hope you enjoyed it. Expect more to come, and expect more original content. I know, I'm taking the easy way out. I'm just like the millions of other people trying to copy Egoraptor right now. But don't you worry, I swear I'll do my own thing. It's just that I'm a lazy ass, and I have limited time, and yeah. So that's it. The video's over. You can go now. Why are you just sitting here? You can check your Facebook. Look, check your Facebook. See, I see it's open on one of those tabs anyways. You can just go up to that tab, just click that Facebook.